Hello guys, and welcome to episode 66 of my Rome 2 Total War campaign with the Iceni tribe. Today we have not much to do in this turn, and I may have to go straight on to the next one, as I think I moved all of my men in the last one and all of my agents as well. So the only place I'm worried about slightly is down here in Egypt, especially Diospolis, which is completely undefended, and there is going to be a rebellion next turn. But either way, let's find out what happens by clicking the end turn button. There's quite a lot of movement that don't necessarily need to worry about, but there has been an attack on the Blemiers by the Rhodos, and they're calling me to help out. So we're going to auto-resolve this because the Blemiers only have 2 units of men. We're going to go with an aggressive stance, and that is job done. Going to execute them. And now we're being attacked by what I think is a rebellion. Ouch. So I have 2 units of farmers and a unit of Briton slingers. They have a chariot unit, a citizen cavalry unit, some carrion axemen, and some camel archers. Now these citizen cavalry alone could probably just charge through all my men. The carrion axemen aren't very good, but they could still do a significant amount of damage. We got the camel archers just going to spray me from afar, and then we got the general with what I think is scythe chariots. And if it is, they are going to completely break my men no matter what I try and do. So in that case, I'm going to have to go with an auto-resolve. We're going to go with a balanced stance and hope we can kill as many as possible to make it easier for my general in the next turn. A decisive defeat. We only killed 24 men. So, hidden agent exposed, last thing I'm worried about right now. Rebellion, Diospolis. Yes, that is exactly what I'm worried about. Then we got Cladios, some good news I guess, increase in rank, and Brogia the same. Let's just quickly go to the skills and give her probably propaganda, because that gives her increased cultural conversion, which is exactly the job that I have set her. And then one of the agents up here, I think it was this fella, Cladios, also should get an upgrade. So I'm probably going to increase his provocateur skill in order to give him increased campaign map movement range. That seems like the right choice. Ter's still converting, so we're going to leave him in that province this turn. My army's destroyed, and that's the garrison army of Diospolis. Then we got a construction report. So let's go to the Great Hall in Bagdorgis and see if there's anything else we can build in this province to help them out. We can actually increase this or upgrade this Shrine of Tutatis. That will help the Celtic cultural influence, which will increase it overall, which will obviously help because it will make the province more happy, although it's currently plus 29 per turn at the moment. Then we got a settlement lost. Diospolis, of course. Quartermaster's report of the heroic nobles being finished at Rome. Then we got a path blocked of Imbetos, which is one of my armies in Egypt. That was probably the movements of the Rhodos. A faction rises, Egypt, as they took over Diospolis. But they're not going to last very long, as I'm going to take my army from Myos Hormos, hit Diospolis this turn, and take it back, and avenge those who died in that battle. So there they are, thinking they can get away with knocking at the door of the British Empire, or the Iceni Empire in this case. But that's not going to happen. Let's fight this on the battle map and absolutely crush them with ultimate force. So we're going to use the dry weather, and we're going to grab these slingers and the Britain skirmishers with a line of chosen spearband. The reason I'm going to use the chosen spearband is because they have a lot of cavalry, and the chosen spearband are going to be most effective against them. Then we have the Britain scout riders, which we can use to flank if needs be, but probably won't be the case. So let's just start the battle now. We'll move up these ranged units, and we'll put the spears into the streets. So we're going to put 2 units in the center here and 1 unit on the left, because this is a very thin passage. Then we're going to back those up with the chosen sword band, because obviously we need to use these forces somewhere. And we'll just get the rest of the men to walk up as well. We'll run around our scout riders and see if we can find out where they are. We can literally use them for scouting for once. And then we're going to speed up the game while we wait for all my men to redeploy. There we are. There is their troops, hiding behind the houses on the left side here. They were spotted out by my scout riders. If I put 1 unit here and 2 units here, you'll see that we'll reveal basically their entire army. There we go. All their units appearing. The carrying axemen and the citizen cavalry on this side. And some Hurrah spears over here. But my men are still getting into position. These chosen spearband taking up positions. And what I'm actually going to do is put my chosen spearband in a line in this direction. Forward! Then I'm going to grab my slingers and put them behind them. Unless I get engaged by the carrying axemen in the meantime. Could happen. Probably looks like it will happen. So we're going to charge back against them. They have the height advantage, but we're going to get my chosen swords involved to help out. I'm still going to get my slingers to run up, and they can help kill these camel archers off. Charging in with the chosen sword band, who should be a lot more effective against these units. Get the spearmen to push on to the citizen cavalry while the slingers come up behind. So I've got these spear band coming in the back side. We're going to get all these men to move up round there as well. But I'm not necessarily going to attack with these just yet. I'm going to use the slingers to attack the camel archers. Get all the slingers to move over to this side in order to fire onto those camel archers. Go on, men. Get into positions and start firing. Okay, so we're doing well. Looks like the scythe chariots have got involved, but they're not really charging around, they're very static. And the slingers are starting to do a lot of damage against this unit. There you can see they're dying very, very quickly. And I don't have to do a thing. There's a group of mob here, and they're going to get charged by my spearband. Wow! The effect of the spears there, or the javelins being thrown, absolutely mega. Well, let's press the attack into the back of these scythe chariots as my men continue to push forwards. We'll get the sword band into the square, and they can charge onto the Hurrah spears. There we go. They are completely surrounded. Now, if these scythe chariots actually did something like run through my men, then maybe they would have caused a bit of fear and caused a bit of damage. But no, they died, and now they're running away. And that is victory for us. We're going to end the battle there. Decisive victory. 55 losses for us and 420 for them. Served them right for trying to take over my city. Slice them right open. We're going to go ahead and occupy Diospolis. And we've destroyed Egypt once again. Now, of course, there is going to be another rebellion because we only just wiped out the last one. But we're going to go ahead and repair all this stuff anyway and convert it to our own religion, or culture, should I say. We're going to use this area here to construct probably a artisan's lodging, because I think having 2 holy places already is going to be enough. Then we can upgrade this enclosed land to cattle pens, because we are going to need the food. Or actually I might just go for a field, because again, food is an issue. We've only got 38 at the moment, and that's surplus for my entire empire, which could very quickly go down. And then we're going to get a harbour in Alexandria, because that seems only right, and then a fisherman hut in Myos Hormos, or maybe even another harbour, so that we can make use of trade in the Red Sea. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. Okay, so that is that. We have 1 turn until our technology is finished. We're going to move the consorts of Morrigan to occupy Myos Hormos. And that means that any city in the province of Egyptus is now defended. Alexandria, although it doesn't have an army, has walls. Okay, let's go through the rest of my units, including my agents. So Serpenios is going to continue down the coast of the Red Sea and find out where the Seleucids are living. So they own Petra, Hegra, Jerusalem, and Charmuthas. Probably more cities further down that I'm going to have to find, so he can continue exploring. Then we got Adiatorix, you come across Media. And I'm actually going to possibly try and kill off some of these Seleucids, just to weaken them before I attack them for good. But I'm not entirely sure if I'd be better off just exploring, which I might do. Pissing off the Seleucids at this point may not be the best idea, especially considering I'm knee-deep in rebels in Egypt at the moment. Ambigatos can go ahead and kill this Seleucid guy just here. Going to use a concealed blade, see if we can get away with that. Opportune failure. Bit of a shame. Might kick off some fuss. Anauni still converting. Adiatorix needs to start converting. Actually, we don't want to do corruption. Why am I doing that? Will not be good for Libya. I will instead move him down so he's not causing corruption. But I can't do it this turn now because I already set him to do so. Cladeos still converting. Brogia probably still converting. Yeah, it's still 85%. The Iron Winds can now finally move back towards Egypt. I'm going to keep them on the coast to stop them from suffering from attrition. Then we have the Burning Men back at Camladunan. And then we have the Spear Runners, probably ready to take on this army of nomadic rebels. I think we've sorted out the majority of the happiness in Ponto Caspia. We're going to continue to upgrade this Shrine of Tutatis just to help out even more. But I think we can probably get away, like I say, with attacking this army now. They of course are going to retreat, because that is an army that is half the size of mine. But we're still probably going to have to fight this on the battle map, because they do have a lot of men. So, let's jump straight in and fight this on the battle map. So it's dry once again. We're going to start the deployment. And we have a lot of units of Druidic Nobles. And these are something that I haven't had chance to use for a long time actually. So it's nice to be able to see them again. Units of 80 men, which are very heavy infantry with very high attack values. And they have these like cool iron helmets with really awesome swords. So, anyway, I'm going to spread these guys out to a nice line. They can charge forwards and take on the enemies, while the sword band can make sure that they have the flanks with the spear band. And we can get the slingers up in front, though they're not going to be able to do much in this forest. And the scout riders can stick together to kill the enemy skirmishers. Okay, so that is that. Let's grab my army and put them into a group. Maintains the formation, and we can move forwards to attack them. So what looks like might happen is we'll run forwards and we'll come to the edge of this forest. I'll start to pepper them with my slingers, and then they'll be forced to charge me. That will likely be what happens. For now, my army is just running through the forest. And I might just set them to walk while I get the horses to move separately. The horses can run up to this side area here, get into a flanking position to charge into the front lines once they have engaged me. I'm not sure if this is going to cause them to turn towards them. It might do just that, so I might start having to walk them through the forest. And then they'll hopefully forget that they're even there. Either way, we're going to fast forward the game right now. Wait for my men to get into position. In the meantime, let's have a look in a cinematic point of view what this big army looks like. It looks kind of funny actually. Moving in fast forward mode, creeping through the forest. It must get very tiring on the legs in that position, don't you think? Having to hold the shield up like that with their sword in that position, slowly creeping. Okay, right, let's get out of the cinematic view. And we're nearly at the point where we'll be ready to engage the enemy. And the reason I'm walking them is obviously to stop them from running out of breath. But even though they are in that little crouched position, which does look very tiring, I'm not sure I could do that for that length of time. But we shall slow it down soon. Get these slingers to engage. Now the slingers do have a very long range, but it looks like we are going to have to come a reasonable way out of the tree line in order to use them properly. So we're now going to run my army into position as I move my Briton scout riders to the edge of the battlefield. Okay, so it looks like they're actually coming towards me with
our hidden units have been discovered.
Cavalry. And I'm going to have to basically retreat my men slightly, I think.
Our general is under attack.
I'm not quite sure what they want to do. Get the sword band to run forwards and engage them with some spear band. If not, we can just use the slingers to pepper them down, which is exactly what I think I might do. Get the slingers to engage them properly. Put them onto quick reload.
Battle is turning in our favor.
We're going to retreat my general here who's taking a lot of damage.
Warriors, move out! Fearless warriors!
Okay, let's just quickly pause and give the orders to the men to charge. We're going to get these scout riders to chase these steppe horse skirmishers. Then we're going to get the spear band to chase the other unit that is in the center somewhere. Actually, we probably don't need to do that. Instead, we're going to engage our men to these spearmen. Hopefully, hold them off. Okay, so now my entire front line should charge. And we're going to put all our druidic nobles into a frenzy. And these men won't stand a chance. So we've got some lancers here. Ouch. The
men are wavering.
General unit of the enemy was some steppe noble lancers, which have very long spears, and just absolutely annihilated one of my scout rider units. Didn't see that coming.
Heroic nobles!
Looks like we've done enough damage though,
Forward!
and the front line of the enemy has broken. So we're going to chase them down. I'm actually going to try and break off
Our men
my scout
flee the
riders
field of
because
battle.
they are taking a lot of damage. And then I can engage them with my ground forces instead.
Forward!
We'll get the slingers to come up and attack the steppe horse skirmishers. Unless they try and charge into my unit, which looks like they're trying to do. They are going to take a lot of damage, and I'm going to turn my skirmishers to face them so that I can stop their charge and then attack them in the back with my own infantry. Looks like the majority of their army has now disbanded. This is a decisive victory for us, 410 losses and 1,039 for the enemy. Not the most glorious battle, but still a victory nonetheless. Going to cause them to retreat. We're going to hit them again in order to finish them off. I don't need a rebellion in my lands right now. And just so that we don't have to wade through loads of forest again, I'm just going to use an auto-resolve with an aggressive stance and stab him through the face to finish him off. Glorious. We did lose one swordband unit, but that's not too much of a concern. And now we can put him into fast move or force march stance to get him back into Solica. So we're still losing minus 20 public order per turn, but hopefully with the finishing of some of this religious buildings, I should be a lot better off. And we will buy another few units if we can. Nah. I don't necessarily want to get mercenaries, and I can't make swordband here, so that's not going to happen, unfortunately. Anyway, Braux's Vanquishers. They might have to go back and sit in Olbia just to sort out the public order. But I'm not going to do that. I'm in fact going to get them ready to attack Pontus with the Swords of Power. So we're going to get them onto a boat at Pandacapaeum, and they can sail round ready to help the Swords of Power attack Phanagoria. So I've landed on Pontus's shores. That is trespassing, but I think they know what's coming. I know that Pontus are allied with the Seleucids and Bithynia, but that is a war that I think you guys will enjoy, and so will I. So I'm probably just going to have to go for it. Either way, let's have a look at what else we have left to do this turn. The noble stags, of course, can be moved from Samandar, but I may have to keep them there to help with the public order. So that's exactly what I'm going to do in case a rebellion pops up or something. Then we've got the Mists of Doom in their forced march stance. We're going to take them out of that forced march stance, put them into no stance. And they can be ready to receive any rebellions. Then we've got the Will of Andrasta still in Cyrene, waiting for this Shrine of Rosmerta to be finished. And that is about it. Rome, we've got these heroic nobles being finished. We'll have another 3 units of them next turn. So yeah, let's go ahead and click the end turn button. An increase in rank for Papusa. Awesome. And there is another rebellion at Diospolis. We've got our research complete, which gives us a minus 10% corruption. We got an enemy wounded by Myos Hormus because he tried to assault the garrison there. Well, that works for me. Natural causes cause Vercassive Elanos die, and a Nauni is in rank. Okay, so let's try and increase our let's try and increase her demagogy or demagogy. I don't even know what that, how do you say that? It's ridiculous. Anyway, corruption, spread cultural tension, plus 30% public order penalties due to local presence of foreign cultures. Surely that's a bad thing, not a good thing. Plus 30% public order penalties. Yeah, I'm not going to add that. We can instead go with a provocateur so that I can start to increase her cultural influence with her increase in rank. So she's not actually doing much here. I think 71% is as good as it's going to get. Same with Fazania, it doesn't look like it's changing at the end of each turn. So instead I'm going to move them both on into Libya to help convert the culture here instead. Population surplus in Corsica and Sardinia. So let's go ahead and make an enclosed land there to increase my food, because we need a lot of it at the moment. And at Caralis we can make a fisherman's hut again to make more food. Faction joins war. This faction has joined the war. They may want easy gains at the expense of others, or they may be acting for their allies. Pergamon and the Aorsi. So does that mean that Pergamon is at war with me now, or Pergamon has gone to war with the Aorsi? I'm not entirely sure. I think Pergamon may be attacking the Aorsi, which is fine by me, because they are my enemies. Then we got Boatyard, so Carthago, so they can make even better ships now. And we're going to increase that to a raiders port, so we can get some heavy raiders with painted ones. The heroic nobles are continuously being built at Rome. We've got the inspired populace at Baetica, an inspired populace in Africa, an unhappy populace in Ponto Caspia. Hopefully that's going to get better though. We're going to create a grove of... Actually, we don't need a grove of Cututatis, we've already got one. And we've already got a Shrine of Rosmerta, although having another one of those might be worth it, because just in the short term to sort out the public order, so I might actually build that. We got motivated populace in Silesia. Enemy wounded, Sophonisba at Myos Hormos, because they tried to commit arson. Again, probably the Blemiers trying to act against me. here we go. The Egyptian rebels are at it again. Let's use Ambigatos to assassinate the general with a concealed blade. Assassination failed. God damn it. So useless, Ambigatos. Apenios, one of my most prestigious spies, can now start travelling across the desert to find the other. The other settlements. And Adiatorix has just found Seleucia, which is now owned by Media. Okay, and he can continue travelling east to find even more settlements. Adiatorix, my druid, can head towards Ammonium, and therefore he will continue to do administration instead of corruption. Cladeos can move on from converting Sarmatia because that doesn't seem to be making a difference as well, and he can move towards Ponta Caspia instead. Help the happiness here. And the Iron Winds can continue down the coast. Burning Men can stay in Camladunan. We've got Spear Runners having to stay in Solica, but instead in a normal stance. And we've got the Noble Stags at Samandast doing the same. The Consorts of Morrigan staying in Myos Hormos for this turn, possibly. But the thing that I'm really excited about is up here. The Swords of Power and Abraux's Vanquishers, ready to attack Pontus. We're going to be at war probably with the Bithynians and the Seleucids at the same time, and that's going to get very ugly. But unfortunately that's not going to occur in this episode, because this has been my time. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Goodbye.